Hello and welcome to VNG Tech Labs. And in our today's video, let us see how to make a simple calculator application using MFC. So MFC stands for Microsoft Foundation Classes. Here in our project, let's see what we have done. So here I created a menu, and when I click Open Dialog, here is our simple calculator application. So here I can give the values, any value that I want. And if I click add, the value of the added result will be displayed here. If I click subtract, the subtracted value will be displayed here. The same for the multiply and divide. So let's make it simple and let's learn how to create a program in C++, that is Visual C++, and let's learn how to create a class and a corresponding object and how to define variables and method for the class. To begin with, I'm going to close this application. Here, I'm going to click Resource View. I click the drop down. Here I need to go to the menu bar, that is IDR mainframe. Here is the place where I'll be adding the menus. I'm going to create a new menu called Tools. Here in the Tools, I'm going to make a new menu as My Calculator. Right, and then I need to right click on the My Calculator menu, and then I need to add event handler. Here I need to specify my target location where my my menu needs to appear. It's on the view, so I need to select the view here. Okay, let me add the other things as it is. When I click OK, now we can see that in my view CPP file or function for that event handler got created. Now when I click run on a local Windows debugger, let's see how it appears on the view. So it will take some time to build. Okay, and as we see here, our function is empty. Now in future, we will be writing what to do when this tools menu is clicked. So here we have tools and My Calculator. When I click My Calculator, nothing happens because we haven't added any function for it. So I'm going to close it again. Now I need a calculator dialog. So in order to create a dialog, here we have a dialog option in the same resource view. Now right click. I need to click Insert. So the computer takes me to the new page, a new dialog view. Here it shows an empty dialog. So we need to add the contents for it. In order to add the contents, we need to click the view and then toolbox. Here, let me move the toolbox to the right. Here I need to add three static text. Static text is nothing but label for our understanding. So we need three static text. That is for number one, number two, and number three. And then I need to add edit control. Edit control is our input box. Number one, number two, and the output. Or result. Well, now I need to add a button also. So we have a simple button, right? Now let us start defining the names for each and every contents here. I'm going to close this. Now, when I click each and every component, so at the right side, I can see the different um, names that are related to it. So I can edit the name or the border or its properties, whatever we want over the right side. So I need to change the name here. The name is as number one. Each and every component on this dialog box has a different ID. So if you want to change the ID, you can scroll down and you have the names or ID. So you can change it according to your understanding. This project, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Now I'm going back to the static number two. Yes, the name is number two. And here I'm going to name this as result or output, whatever you want. Now I need to uh, define these also. And also for the dialog, I need to change the name. And yeah, I'll change it as my simple calculator. When I click my simple calculator, you can say that it's got reflected over here at the right side, at the left side corner of our dialog box. Right. So let me check the IDs of these. Okay, I'll name this as number one, number one, number two, and result. Result value. Okay, right. So and for the button, okay, so we will add an event later. First, we have created a dialog. First, we need, and then the second step is to define a class for this. So only then the computer will understand that this dialog belongs to some particular class. So I need to right click on this dialog, then I need to click add class. Here, my class name, I need to begin with class name as C, capital C, my simple calculator without space. My simple calculator. Yes. So here our class for our dialog has been created. So the computer creates two files here. One is the .h file and CPP file. .h file is where we are going to declare all the variables and functions, and .cpp file is where we are going to define the same. Now I'm going to toggle it to the CPP file. Here is our CPP file. Now let me go back to our resource view, and our dialog name is IDD dialog 2. Yeah, I forgot to change the name of our dialog. So if you're dealing with this project, uh, before you're creating a class, you can edit the dialog name for your understanding. Here, now let's create the variables for our components of our dialog. Here, I need to right click on each and every uh, components. Now I'm going to click add variable. Right. So I need to change this category as value. I'll leave it as public, and I need to specify the name number. My variable name is number1, and I click finish. And I right click on the second edit control, and I'm going to change this as value. Now I'm going to name it as number2. And I'm going to right click this again. I'm going to click add variable. I'm going to select value and leave it as C string and result value. Now click finish. Well, so when I go back to my simple calculator application CPP, and I toggle back to the header file, so we can see that the three variables has been created with a C string, number1, number2, and result val. Now let us see how to make use of this. Now, first of all, I need to make this dialog to be shown on our computer. So I'll go to my simple calculator application, and I'll just copy this my simple calculator.h header file. I need to have this header file for calling this class object. So so in our application, I'm going to call this dialog from our view. So I'm going to double click on the view here. I hope you remember we created a had event handler for our menu, my simple calculator button click. So when that is clicked, it leads to here. So I'm going to make a function here inside this. To begin with, I need to first paste my simple calculator.h, and I come down to my function. I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to delete all these. Right. So first, using that class name, I'm going to create an object. calculate. I'm going to name this as calculator dialog DLG. So in order to open the dialog, I need to just say it as calculator dialog dot do model of open and close bracket. So it will directly create an object and open our dialog that we created. So when I click local Windows debugger, code is getting generated. Here we go. When I click tools, my calculator, our dialog is being appeared now. Okay, these are the string values. So now let's start doing the code for our project. Okay, now I need to go to the CPP file of our dialog. So our dialog name is my simple calculator.cpp. And here we go. Right. Okay, so I'm going to the resource view, then IDT dialog 2. Right. So in our case, I'm going to enter the number 1 and number 2 for our calculation. And then I'm going to click the button 1, that is add. So I need, for our understanding, I'll just change the name to add. Right. So when I click add, the number 1 and number 2 will be added and be shown on the result. To do that, I'm going to first right click on the add, and I'm going to click add event handler. My target location should be in the same my simple calculator dialog, because this function is defined in the same class, calculator app class. I'm going to click OK. Here we have. So when the button is clicked, I'm going to create a string named number 1. It's a local variable, C string. And similarly, I'm going to name it, I'm going to make another variable, num2. I'm going to make an integer variable, int, as answer num. Okay, now here we have two parts. One is the programming area, and the second one is the dialog. So I need to get the data from I need to transfer the data from the dialog to the variables, what we are using here on the program. To do that, I need to use a function called update data. Okay, I'll just comment it. It's for DDX, or the dynamic data exchange. Transfers data from controls to variables. So once this happens, the data from once this update data is called, not program, our values from our edit control will be passed to our local variables. That is what we are using on our code. Next, in order to get the values from our dialog, I need to add a function name called get dialog item text. Get DLG item text. I'll use this of. I need to specify which ID, from which ID of our from which ID related component should I get the value from. So it is our IDC control one, IDC number one, comma. And where should I store it? I need to store the C string value in the number one. Okay, next, I'm going to copy the same thing. And I'm going to do it for number two with IDC number two. And this one has to be done with change to number two. Right. And then okay, now I'm going to use this answer num. Okay, since the received value is a string, I need to convert that string value to integer. To do that, I'm going to use the equal to operator, equal to, and I need to add this to guys. So I'm going to use a function called underscore tstoi that converts string to integer. I'm going to copy this number one. And I'm going to make this as number two. Okay, so now we have got our um, added value in the int format, in the integer format. Now I need to again display this added value back to our application, that is our dialog application. So to do that, I need to again convert this answer to a string. So let me create a local variable, C string answer str. I'll name this as answer string. Now I'm going to copy this answer str dot format of underscore t. I need to specify that I'm going to convert it to decimal %d, and I need to specify from which string from which integer number I'm going to convert it. So and I need to convert this answer string to answer number. I need to convert this answer number to integer to string. So this integer will be converted to string and again stored in the ANSSTR answer string. I'll just name it here, convert int. And here we convert underscore tstoi is to convert string to integer. So now my final step is I need to get the dialog item using the ID, and I need to just pass this answer string on the display. To do that, again, I'm going to use get DLG get DLG item. Here, I forgot to add a semicolon. Yeah, we have this get dialog item. Here, let me specify the result value. I'm going to get the result value ID, and I'm going to point. I'm going to call set window text. Set window text. Choose second one, first one of answer string. Answer string. So now, after sending it, I need to, in order to reflect this change on our dialog, I need to use a function called update data. And I'll make it as true. I made a mistake here. So this closing bracket should not appear over here. I need to put the closing bracket here. Now let me click run. Yeah, the project is in build mode. Yes, so we have finally got our view, and this page, this white color place is called as view. In this view, we have created a menu called tools and another menu item called my calculator. So when I click my calculator, I get this dialog item. So I'm going to type 10 or 100, 40 in the second number. When I click add, I get 140. Yes, so we have successfully made a calculator app for addition. So I'll just end up over here for this and for this as a part one. So in the part two, I will cover all the remaining three operators. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in the second part.